So are you playing with Kitty, sweetie?
Of course.
Where is he?
By the window looking for the birds.
Oh, he's looking for birds. Yeah. There's the whale shark tunnel. Look at this kitty. Look at this kitty. Is this not a good cookie? Yes, she bird. You're a good kitty, aren't you? Hey, everybody. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. All right, we got the next scene. So Jonah is kind of giving up on stuff. So Jonah sits at PC, begins writing poem. Make sure you can spell that. Okay. Begins writing poem about walking on ice-covered lake Wassakiag. It's a lake by Dexter where Stephen King grew up. Walking on ice lake, cut back to writing poem. So it'll go back and forth with him writing this poem. I might dig out my old poem and use it. A poem. Yes, I love you, kitty. Yes, I do. I love you, kitty. Yes, I do. This is for the musical Pussy Kitty. I love you, kitty, and I love my wife too. I love my wife too. And I love you, kitty. Yes, I do. I love you, kitty. Yes, I do. I love you, kitty. It doesn't make me blue. And I love my wife. I love my wife too. You cut that little gibberish part. I might can leave it, a little Pentecostal thing. And I love my kitty, yes I do. I love my kitty, it doesn't make me blue. But I love my wife, I love my wife too. I love my wife too. And welcome to the Please Subscribe Show. Okay, I get it. Frisky. Frisky kitty. Look at that tail.
I think yesterday we were
Doing a frisky. I love you, kitty. I love you, kitty. Yes, I love you, kitty. And I love my wife too. Yes, I love my wife too. Love you, sweetie.
Love you too.
All right. What we're dealing with today is 172,187 miles. It is 68 degrees Fahrenheit. March 15, 2023. You guessed it. There is Linda. Linda Spivey. And I am Cole Spivey. And we're on our way. About to hit a bridge. I'm going to show some traffic. Eventually we'll be dropping food at your doorstep. Linda will drop it at the point of sale system. And we'll continue to do this until we're getting funding for hopefully Escape from Maine. And we'll make that movie, and we'll probably still cater to people too, because Linda's very good with food on set. But I'll be the director and writer and filmmaker. There is traffic. And now you know my plans to make $1 trillion. $1 trillion. Now, I'll be working on the first time that Jonah sits down at his computer and begins crafting. Not the first time in his life, but the first time while he was in Maine at the parking place, and he's writing up a poem about Wassakiag, the lake frozen in January. I'll be working on that tonight. I think I'm gonna do it like imagery, cut back and forth from the poem to the images that he's writing. There'll be fish swimming underneath the ice, talking about a 4x4 spinning its wheels as a 4x4 truck. And igloos. See the igloos on the ice, and father and son fishing inside, eating marshmallows and telling jokes. We'll cut to all those imagery, so it'll be like a lot of him writing the poetry and then going from the poetry and seeing the screen on the computer screen to the actual imagery that he's writing on. And that'll be the first time that the audience is aware that he's a writer, and he's writing a poem, and then he's also writing a book, a novel called Escape from Maine, also known as Escape from Me. Me is short for Maine. Anything you'd like to add, honey? He's eating broccoli and chicken. That's why I love me some Linda. She always eats healthy. Thanks. Broccoli and chicken. Doing very good, sweetie. Very good. Time for a 2 taco snack.
What are we reading?
Right, so what you do is you take the app, and I believe it's this number right here, and then you put that number in your Jack in the Box app, and you get points. The reasons why I started this channel, but I thought it'd be cool to show the slow progression to, you know, stardom, which your life will be very different. I'm sure once that happens, my vlogs will be shorter. Here's a Taco Bell sauce. I mean, I might continue it, you know, and then like showing myself eating like sushi and escargot, all the stuff that you're probably eating right now. And then this is one of their tacos. Jack in the Box. Because what comes around goes around. Every dog has its day, and so on and so on and so on. My shell's kind of hard. Still pretty good. When I have to play those skinny rolls and give up this kind of stuff, I'll have this for memory. I'm only having 2 tacos today. You know, when I gotta live on like a diet of like spinach, bell peppers, and boiled eggs. And greens. And olives. And all the stuff that I eat that makes you mad. This stuff doesn't really make you mad. If I was eating a big old healthy salad, that makes you a little mad. It'll take some time, but I don't plan to quit. I plan to keep on going till I make it. So in a way, this is a love letter to my friends and a love letter to my enemies. Because I know they're both watching. But I know you don't hate me personally. You just hate my maker. And they're all the way from Nevada. All right, we are headed to Tokyo Cafe, one of my favorite restaurants. They've got good rolls. And we're gonna begin writing the scene when Jonah writes the Wasakiag Lake poem about the frozen Wasakiag Lake. And I wrote that poem today. It's based on another poem I wrote by memory, because I don't know where that poem is. So I had to rewrite it. But I made it a little shorter and more for the movie. So it should work, it should work. And then he's gonna write that poem. It'll cut back and forth from imagery of the poem. So to real life to the poem, the Wasakiag Lake, and all the fun people dancing and ice skating and all that fun stuff on the lake. Well, they're not ice skating. I think there's a snowmobile thing on there too, but I said something about a muffler and a truck and things like that. It'll work out. There's fish swimming underneath it. It's a really good poem. It'll work. It'll be fine. There's Tokyo. Tokyo Cafe. It's not really Tokyo, but that's the sign right there. Tokyo Cafe. There's the wonderful bathroom here at Tokyo Cafe. Great toilet, great sink. Wonderful.
Hi there. It's going to be...
Enough, I asked the guy that works at places, one of the GMs or whatever, if he's been to Tokyo. He said, I have not been to Tokyo. I said, I haven't either, but my grandma went. I think my grandma went to Tokyo, I'm pretty sure. She did go to China. One of my bank managers had their honeymoon in Japan. They may have went to Tokyo. Tokyo. Hey, we got it. We'll get to your doorstep. Drop it off. You eat very well tonight. Kerouac, when he wrote On the Road, he used one long sheet of paper that was a scroll. So it scrolled in the typewriter and it scrolled out. So when he finally turned the story, no, it's okay. It's okay. No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I just wanted to give you something for the act of giving. No, it's fine. It's fine. He was trying to be nice. I only had a little bit of change, so it's weird thing. You know what? I have more change. He waved me off. I was gonna give him more change. Now some more change. He probably thought I was gonna give him another couple pennies. But hey, you know, even that is something. It's better than just nothing, you know. I'll try to give him more next time. I think he was trying to make $1. I don't know. He offered $1, but I didn't get that. I was trying to give him something, but anyway. Regardless, back to Kerouac. He had it all on one scroll. So it was like one long sheet of paper that went on for a very long time until it rolled up and it was in a roll form, like a scroll. They turned that scroll into his publisher, and then they took it and made it a masterpiece. That scroll can still be found today. I don't think he did all the books that way. And why he did that, maybe I have different theories. One way is I think he treated it as a holy thing. So the scroll looked holy, and it felt like a holy thing when he was writing it. He may have talked about why he did the scroll. Another thing I thought was maybe he didn't have any other type of paper to write on, or he bought the scroll. And I always wondered how he did that. Maybe also he treated it kind of like an art project. I'm talking about on the road. He might have treated it like an art project or something. And he liked the idea of turning it in as a scroll, you know, as a big old scroll. It was kind of his style. It fit him, you know, it fit his nature. It'd be very weird to do today. It wouldn't be that big of a book, because that scroll, you know, it'd fill up the room, you know, eventually. I don't know exactly how long On the Road is. I did a book report on it in high school a long time ago. Heck of a book. I mean, I'm not insulting Maine, you know, by saying escape from Maine. I know Mainers are like, oh, you know, I like Maine, you know. I think Maine's fine. But it represented something at the time in my life, is why I escaped. For one thing, I didn't want to work in a factory for too long, you know. Especially one that was deafening, you know, that was kind of killing you and making you deaf. So I chose to escape and leave, you know. And I did. And it did me the better. You know? I'm not making fun of was it Robert Frost, the guy that wrote The Two Paths, and I chose the one less followed. I'm not making fun of that or anything, you know. I'm just saying, if I would have stayed there, I've been writing a lot of stuff. I'm just sitting there writing and working. And so I left to start a family. And now I have 3 kids and a beautiful wife. I don't think Maine was going to give it to me. I think there's a cruel side of Maine. It can be cruel. They might have. I don't know. But I don't know if I would have felt safe, you know. It's not in my blood. You know, I left something that was not in my blood. Then I went and started my generation. No offense, you know. Nothing personal. It's just the way it is, you know. It's what had to happen. I mean, the state of Maine didn't owe me a wife and children, which is all the gold and silver and diamonds in the world, especially the wife. They didn't owe that to me. I don't think they did. No. They just say, hey, you know, here's your work. Here's a good book. It's called the Bible. What you're going through is hard. We know. We got a nurse over there. Stop smoking and eat healthy. We'll give you extra benefits. We just want you to move this wood over there and take this wood off the belt. Make sure nothing's rotten. I'm like, okay. I'll do that for a little while. I always like Stephen King's story, Shawshank Redemption, how, you know, Andy had to do something very small. Well, it wasn't too small, but it wasn't like the biggest chore. But he was using a rock hammer, a little miniature rock hammer, to chisel his way out of prison. Each day, that cement that he would get through would go into his pockets, and he liked going out into the yard and dumping it out. And boy, that's genius to write about. And it's a genius aspect to the story. It's a good plot point, very Hitchcock, very Twilight Zone, and it worked. And he's sitting in $1 million home. Not Andy. Andy's in our mind. He's a character. He's out in Mexico or Costa Rica, sailing away with his black friend. I don't have a problem with moving, you know, the wood at that time, but I chose, well, that's enough, you know, popsicle sticks, and I forgot about the popsicle sticks. and the corn dog sticks, and the tongue depressors, and the DNA sticks, and all that wonderful things that you need. That's enough for me. I'm gonna move on now. When I got back, within a week, I'd already met my wife. We'd started planning children. Now, if you come here and you want to get work, I promise you this, we don't owe you anything either, other than the payment that we'd give you for the work that you would do for us. We might ask you to move some wood around or install an air conditioning system. But we don't owe you a wife or children either. But you're welcome to try. And there's a good place to find them. That's in one of your local Texas churches. Sure, come on down. We'll give you a book. Here's the book. It's called the Bible. Go right inside. They got Sunday school. They got single classes and couple classes. Heck, bring your whole family. We got barbecue. We'll get the grill going. This is called Mira Vista. They got security. I'm thinking about buying a house here one day. It'd be great for Airbnb. They're out golfing today. Real nice. We got golf courses, just like you do. The only difference is during the winter time, we don't need a snowblower as much. Actually, rarely do we ever. But it's nice golf courses. They do have to water it to keep it going. We don't have a Stephen King as a writer, but we do have Cole Spivey, who's a writer and actor and filmmaker. So he's a lot of fun. He doesn't live in a huge mansion yet, but he might after Stephen King, lets it all go. A few others. You can see down this way right here. But it could happen, for he doesn't know the future. He doesn't know the before and after, as they say. He likes to predict, but he also likes to predict the weather, and he gets that wrong all the time. Now I'll have to turn this bitterness. You write a story, part of that story kind of seeps inside you. But I do plan to finish it, and I'm in the middle of it right now. Now I did write half of the scene, and I'm going to continue writing the other half when I get a little break. And this is a scene is called the poem. I think it's called the poem called Wassakiag Lake in January. It's when the Wassakiag Lake freezes over in wintertime, and people like to walk on it and drive their trucks on it, go ice fishing and all that fun stuff. I like the brightness of Texas, the way the sky is and how bright it is. It's very bright outside. I like that, the sunshine states. Those are the coolest. You got Florida, Texas, and California. Those are some good sunshine states. Lots of sunshine. Something about that I welcome. I just like the way it makes my skin feel. To me, it's pretty. I see it as very beautiful. Remember when I was in Maine, I was watching one of Alex Kendrick's stories. I think it was Courageous, I think. he had the scene where it was very bright outside and him and his son were jogging. Something about that I liked. Like the aspect of that. It's kind of heavenly. There's a kingdom aspect to it. I mean, you know, Maine is fun. Don't get me wrong. I like Maine. You know, you got the winter and all that stuff. But there's just something about living there that I, you know, permanently that I didn't like. But as a vacation spot, you know, as they call it, vacation land. I guess everybody feels kind of the same. It's rough in the winters, you know. Like, it's rough. Some, it's in their blood. They can handle it, you know. To me, it just gets a little too much. California, too, I like, too. I like the California beaches and all the sunshine in California and all the beautiful skies, mountains and things like that. But that gets a little shaky, too. It gets a little shaky, too, there at times. Talking about territory is a political thing at times. But everybody's got their cozy spot, you know? Everybody got their town that they like. They have their ways, the things that they love to do. It makes them happy because we're only here for so long. You'll eventually escape that thing that you don't want or that's bothering you. You'll get rid of that thing and you'll search for your happy spot. You know, you'll search for the peace and the holiness that you want. Holiness. You know, the obedience. I'm thinking this might be this one. What do you think? It's a pretty nice one. I mean, we could live in a house like that right now. You don't even know. You wouldn't really know. Not really. You could say, well, I'm assuming that, right? But you don't know. We're not going to really reveal our real, you know, area or our real location. You're not really supposed to. Are you? But people do it, though. But it's not very safe to do that. To reveal exactly where you live. Why would you want to? You'd have to be a nut. Look at that little empire right there with all the spires. It's a little castle house. Remember one time my dad drove by one of these castle houses with my mom. We were in the car. We were still living in kind of a smaller house. And he drove by one of these houses. About 4 or 5 years later, he was working on building a house very similar to the house we drove by. My dad, he was starting his jewelry business. He looked over at my mom. Do you like that one, honey? He said, I like that design.